Hello YouTube, and welcome to part 2 of our Vatsim tutorial. Okay, so we've arrived at point 4, which is prepare your simulator. And it makes a really good point here, saying that if you connect at an airport with a ground, GND or tower, TWR controller, they are likely to be able to give you some help if you need it. That's good. And then it says, for your first few flights, it might be advisable to connect to a smaller airport that isn't very busy, so that the controllers will have more time to help you if you need it. And I think that's a really good suggestion. Yeah, that's really good. And just talking about GND and TWR, ground and tower controllers, I think it'll be good good time to actually talk about the structure of Vatsim, and a really good illustration to help understand how Vatsim works. So we've got a wedding cake there, very nice one, it's very tasty, but if we turn it upside down, then this actually gives us a good idea as to the structure of Vatsim. So working from the smaller bit here and working your way up, kind of like a hierarchy structure. So when you actually connect to Vatsim, the very first ATC controller you would speak to, if they are on, is delivery, DEL. So you'd actually see that in the display box on your vPilot client. So that's the very first ATC controller you would actually contact, and once you contact them, they would then put you onto, or they would actually tell you to contact GND, which is ground. All right. And if delivery is not on, you'll just see ground if they're on, and you obviously just contact ground straight away because they will do the job of the delivery controller. The next one above ground is tower, or sometimes called air director. And unlike ground, tower only controls the landing and the departures, the taking off, basically. Ground, as you probably are aware, will just give you directions as to how to get to the active runway, parking stands, all things to do with taxiing information. Okay, so, and once again, if ground and delivery are not available, then tower is, then you'd contact tower straight away from your parking stand to get your clearance. And then we go up the hierarchy tier and you'd come to approach, or sometimes called radar controller. Now they operate outside the airport, unlike tower and ground and delivery, who solely operate within one particular airport. So you can't contact from Heathrow, Gatwick's tower, because they won't be able to help you. Okay, so approach, moving up above approach, you have center. And center is above approach, tower, ground, and delivery. If none of these are on, you can, if you're at Gatwick, for example, you can contact center and they will give you clearance and departure clearances and approach clearances. So they've got a really big job to do, but they've trained for it. They've actually worked through the ranks and they've earned the badge of C1 or C3. Okay, so I hope that wedding cake illustration actually helps you to understand how Vatsim is structured and who to talk to when you first contact. Right, so now if we just go back to the Vatsim webpage and just continue working through our list, we are now at point 5, and point 5, it says to connect to Vatsim, so we'll do that once we get inside the simulator. And point 6 is another good tip as well, because it says listen and begin. How you progress from here is your choice. It might be advisable to tune to a controller's frequency and listen in to get an idea of how things work. You're welcome to connect on the ground at an airport to watch and learn if you aren't ready to make your first flight. So that, once again, is a very good suggestion. You know, there's no harm in just listening in, and you really do learn a lot that way. And it really does give you confidence. You can hear how the controllers are speaking, how the pilots are responding back to them. Okay, so before we do that, we can have a look at AvlaSoft EFB. Right, so that is Gatwick Airport, Echo Golf Kilo Kilo as it stands at the moment. So all the red ones, I think I may have explained to you or in a previous video, they are the Vatsim aircraft. We're not actually connected to Vatsim via the flight simulator or vPilot. This is AvlaSoft connecting directly to Vatsim. Now all the blue aircrafts you see here, we need to get rid of them because they are AI aircraft. So we don't really want them in the way when we're connecting to Vatsim, because you will actually see them on the ground moving about and they will be intermingling with Vatsim real aircraft, if you like. So to get rid of the AI aircraft, we have to turn them off. All right. So we have to go into the scenery dialog of prepared. Now you can see here, that's the scenery dialog, and then we go to options and we go to traffic and we'll turn airline density right the way down. All right. And GA aircraft traffic density right the way down. You can leave everything else up, but just those two we want to focus on. Just turn them right down so that we don't have them in the way. And also sound as well. Now, we need to turn off the simulated ATC on prepared. And we do that by going to the sound and just unchecking the voice. And the reason being because prepared uses the same frequencies that is used in Vatsim. So for example, if you tune 136.20 as an ATIS frequency in Vatsim and you haven't actually unchecked this, then you're going to get both Vatsim ATIS voice and also the prepared simulated ATC voice as well. So you're going to get double voices there, and that's not a good thing. So we want to turn that off before we get into the simulator. All right, so now I'm going to press OK on that. Oh, before we do that, actually, there's something else. Now, if we go back to EFB, okay, because this is another useful feature of EFB. Now, before we connect, we can actually see which parking stand is available. So, for example, in fact, at Gatwick, there's quite a few parking stands available. The larger parking stands here, the larger green circles, are for heavy, big aircrafts like a 747, etc. So at the moment, we have our aircraft parked at stand 7, which is shaded in this kind of like magenta color, and that's for small GA aircraft. So it's not stand 7, I believe that might be stand 8. Let's just turn the aircraft button off. Yes, it is stand 7, so that must be stand 1. Okay, so this is another useful feature of AvlaSoft. You can actually see which parking stands are available before you connect. So that would be a good thing to do. All right. So let's do that right now. And you'll see that after we connect, we'll show you that the AI aircraft have actually disappeared. So let's do that right now. And actually, before we do that, make sure that you do connect to the stand. Now, by default, prepared actually connects you to the active runway. And sometimes, I mean, I've actually forgotten this once. I've connected to an active runway, realized where I was, and just disconnected from Vatsim immediately. So, okay, so let's type in Echo Golf Kilo Kilo, and then it says Gatwick there. So we click on Active Runway, and we go down to the ramp that we want to go to, which is ramp GA 7, parking stand 7 large. Okay, and then we click OK, and click OK again, and it will take us to the flight simulator. And welcome to the beautiful, majestic Dash 8 Q400. So we're all powered up, and we are at Gatwick Airport. And as you can see, there's no aircraft in the vicinity, even though there are aircraft nearby. So what you can see now is through the eyes of EFB, just Vatsim aircraft. So we got rid of all the AI aircraft, which I strongly recommend that you do, because we don't want them intermingling with the real Vatsim traffic. So that's good. And Gatwick looks to be getting quite busy, so we'll tune in to vPilot shortly. Alright. Now, the other thing I wanted to just mention to you is that if you can't see any traffic at all on EFB, it could be that your settings in FSUI PC, which is the software that connects your SIM to third-party software, it could be that the settings are not adjusted right. Okay, so we'll just have a look at FSUI PC. Okay, so there we are. And if you go to the traffic tab, and in the lower right hand corner you'll see it says there set air range, and it could be that your air range is maybe set too small, or it could be set to 0. Just change that to however nautical miles you want to see the aircraft displayed on your map in EFB. And the same with ground range as well. If you want to just switch to airports that are nearby through EFB, then you would actually change the range on this, and you can pretty much set the other parameters as you see here. Okay, so that probably will help with if you can't see any traffic, any air traffic or ground traffic on EFB. All right, so let's connect to Vatsim. Okay, so let's just get vPilot connected. So what we do, we'll select connect, and one of the first things we need to do is make sure that we got the tail number of the aircraft correct, because when you connect, the ATC will actually see your tail number or see your aircraft, and that will be displayed on his diagram. So we need to actually make sure it's correct. So you can see R1 there is a DH8D, and type code. If you're not sure of the type code, if you just start typing out your aircraft description, then you'll see a list of type codes coming up, and you can enter it there. And I don't need to worry about CCAR code. Okay, so we'll click connect, and there vPilot is now searching for the available air traffic controllers in the vicinity of our airport, and hopefully Gatwick should come up. So if we go to EFB, there we go. So you can see with the blue circle that Gatwick has some ATC approach radar, and also ATIS and ground as well. And you can see that by looking in the box on the left hand window which says controllers in range. So just going back to EFB. Okay, so we can get rid of the vPilot now, so that can operate quietly in the background. Right, so we are with EFB and we'll just go to map mode. Okay, so we've got quite a few controllers online actually this evening, and what we'll do is select radio, and now we can see Gatwick Ground, so let's just double click on Gatwick Ground and select transfer. There we go, and see if we can hear anything. Now, not very busy here at Gatwick tonight. You can see the aircraft in blue is not AI aircraft, but actually Vatsim traffic. So, not very busy at the moment, as it's round about 9 o'clock in the evening, and that's us there parked. So let's tune to approach and see if we can get any ATC there. So we'll double click on approach on the radio panel. Transfer. Seems to be very quiet at the moment. Okay, let's try and change frequencies or change airports. So let's just travel over to Hamburg in Germany to see if we can pick up any ATC there. Excellent, some ATC activity. So let's just try and listen in for a while and see what we can learn, and I'll speak to you in a few minutes.
Ewing 34 Juliet, Hamburg Tower, hello again, number 3.
Number 3, Ewing 34 Juliet.
KLM 32 November, preceding traffic about to vacate, wind 040 degrees, 3 knots, runway 23, Clitterland.
KLM 32 November, Clitterland, runway 23, danke.
Turkish 157, welcome to Hamburg, taxi left via Delta 1, hold short of runway 33.
Delta 1, hold short of runway 33, Turkish 157.
Echo 005, cross runway 33 on the other side, Hamburg April 121.7, bye bye.
Cross 33 and 124 again, please. Tower Echo 005.
Echo 005, cross runway 33 and Hamburg April 121.7.
121.7 on the other side, Echo 005.
Good evening, arrivals. Scandinavian 1282 with you.
Scandinavian 1282, Bremen, hello, identified. Expect ILS approach runway 23, descent flight level 70.
Runway 23, descent 70 for 1282.
Straight ahead, hold short Lima, Echo 005.
Negative, sir. There is no Lima. Straight ahead on Zulu 3, that's the taxiway straight ahead, and hold short of the next runway, the next taxiway, Zulu 1.
Taxing 03, hold short Zulu 1, Echo 005.
Echo 005, confirm you have the latest scenery on your computer?
Hopefully.
Echo 005, roger, then choose the gate of your choice.
Data nice, Echo 005.
Hamburg ground Turkish 157 heavy with you.
Turkish 157, Hamburg apron, hello. Taxi via Zulu 3, hold short of Zulu 1.
Zulu 3 and hold short Zulu 1.
Egypt Air 173, are you on my frequency? Luxair 784, are you on my frequency?
AFM Luxair 784 and ready for pushback.
Ah, finally. Okay, so actually the Egypt Air is on your position as well. Anyway, pushback approved, face south, please.
Luxair 784, pushback approved, facing south.
Hamburg ground, taxi 221, requesting taxi.
Ego 221, taxi to holding point runway 33 via Zulu 1 and Bravo 4.
Taxi to holding point 33 via Zulu 1, Bravo 4, taxi 221.
Turkish 157, taxi to stand 01 Bravo via Zulu 1.
Gate 01 Bravo via Zulu 1, Turkish 157.
Hamburg Drop 1, schönen guten Abend, KLM 3 November at Bravo 6, request taxi to stand.
KLM 32 November, Hamburg apron, taxi via Zulu 3, hold short of Zulu 1.
Zulu 3, hold short Zulu 1, KLM 3 November.
Apron Echo 005, just to confirm our itinerary, are we parking at 04?
Yes, that's true, Echo 005.
Thank you. Good night, Echo 005.
Thanks for flying, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Fliy 221, contact Hamburg Tower on 126.85.
Tower on 126.85 by Flight 221. Good day.
KLM 32 November, taxi to stand 01 Alpha via Zulu 1.
KLM 32 November, taxi to stand 01 Alpha via Zulu 1.
Hamburg ground, good evening, Eurowings 34 Juliet, just leaving runway 33 now. Request taxi to Terminal 1 preferably, please.
Eurowings 34 Juliet, Hamburg apron, hello. Taxi via Zulu 3, hold short of Zulu 1.
Zulu 3 to hold short of Zulu 1, Eurowings 34 Juliet.
Eurowings 34 Juliet, taxi to stand 02 Alpha via Zulu 3 and Zulu 1.
Stand 02 Alpha via Zulu 3 Zulu 1, Eurowings 34 Juliet, thanks so much.
Luxair 784, request taxi.
Luxair 784, taxi to holding point runway 33 via Zulu 1 and Bravo 4.
Luxair 784, taxiing holding point runway 33 via Zulu 1 and Bravo 4.
Hamburg apron, good evening. Lufthansa 19 Sierra with you. Requesting Alpha to Frankfurt is 5 with information Kilo.
Lufthansa 195, stand by. Lufthansa 19 Sierra, actually your flight level, the maximum flight level will be 290. Can you accept?
Of course, flight level 290, Lufthansa 19 Sierra.
Lufthansa 19 Sierra, check information Lima, startup approved, cleared Frankfurt via AMLU and minor ghost departure, flight planned route, squawk 2517.
Clear to, clear to Frankfurt via AMLU 9 Golf departure, squawk is 2517, I'll be sure to check information Lima, Lufthansa 190.
Lufthansa 190, reply correct.
So that's it. That was our look into Vatsim and how it works and how it's structured. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There's nothing really complicated about it if you put the time and effort in to learning the basics. And I think one of the most important basics you can learn is to learn how to fly your aircraft. That's one of the most important things to do. And start small. Start with just a small aircraft, a small airport at perhaps maybe a quiet time in the evening, and you should be alright. You'll be able to enjoy your experience on Vatsim. So hopefully in the next video I'll be connecting to Vatsim and going on a simple VFR circuit pattern. So I look forward to that, and please do like and subscribe if you do enjoy these type of videos, and that will help this channel to grow. So until then, thanks for watching.